Vikings yesterday traded for Josh Dobbs, fourth-round pick of the Steelers in 2017. He has been with 7 different teams. He has started 10 out of 10 games over the last 10 weeks of NFL regular season. That's an amazing stat to me. He went his entire career, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and all of 22 except the last 2 weeks without starting. He started the last 2 weeks of 2022 with the Titans. He started the first 8 weeks of 2023 with the Cardinals, who acquired him in a trade just before the start of the season with the Browns, and now, deadline day, traded to the Vikings, where his starting streak will end this weekend because Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Vikings, said yesterday Jaren Hall gets the start against the Falcons. Dobbs will play a supportive role, whatever that means. But they're trying to get Dobbs ready. They're trying to see what they have in Dobbs. For now, they're going to go with Jaren Hall. Dobbs gives them something in the event he can pick up the offense quickly, and he is a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to pick up this offense. Well, he is one. That was his major at Tennessee. Great guy, great personality, great story of perseverance and resilience with all these movements he's made over his career. Traded here, traded there, traded everywhere. Now traded to the Vikings after starting 8 games for a team that really isn't a powerhouse. They weren't 1-7 because of him. They might have been 0-8 without him, and now he gets to go to Minnesota with a team that is on the fringes of playoff contention. If they can stabilize the quarterback position, they can sneak into the postseason.
Yeah, and they're planning on getting Justin Jefferson back, sooner than later. So hopefully that hamstring heals up and he can be the best receiver in the league that we know that he can be, and be that really good target for Dobbs once he's up to speed. But yeah, I think in the options that the Minnesota Vikings had, this really was a pretty good one. You're not giving up too much for the future. A 6th round pick is something that I think if you're getting a starting quarterback for half a season, yeah, you give that up pretty much every time in order to do it. So that's one thing that I think that, makes this a pretty good deal. The other is that it's not entirely an unfamiliar scheme that he's going into. It's certainly not the same thing that he would have been doing in Arizona that he's now going to be doing with the Minnesota Vikings. But that Kevin Stefanski, Drew Petzing offense that he went to with Arizona is similar in some ways to the Kevin O'Connell style of West Coast offense that he's been running there with Minnesota. So I think that there are some things that translate, and being a rocket scientist, I think he's going to be able to pick that up quickly enough. If he could pick up the Titans scheme well enough last year in order to start games, I think he'll be all right getting in there to Minnesota and being a guy who can understand how to get things done offensively. So it's not like he's a really bad quarterback. He acquitted himself well, I thought, with Arizona, despite the fact that they've only won 1 game so far. It's just, there's no real good option when your starting quarterback goes down. But to do this, I think, is something that could keep the Vikings on the fringes of that playoff race for the rest of the season.
They were looking at every option. Kevin O'Connell made the comment on Monday, you wouldn't believe some of the things that have come through my cell phone over the past 24 hours. And they were looking at long-term solutions, short-term solutions, anything and everything they could potentially do to try to stabilize that position. And for now, they're going to entrust it to 5th-round rookie from BYU who stands exactly 6 feet tall, Jaren Hall. That's what O'Connell said yesterday. He will start against the Falcons, and we'll just see where it goes from there. There was something O'Connell said Monday, too, that I found very inspiring, and I found it refreshing. He views this kind of sudden adversity as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to prove what you can do. And, from time to time in our lives, we find ourselves in one of those moments where we're like, man, this isn't good. There is some part of you that recognizes, wait a minute. This is a chance for me to prove myself. This is a chance for me to show to myself and to anyone else who's paying attention that I'm not just going to hang my head. I'm not just going to say, woe is me. I'm not just going to say, well, the season's over. Let's start thinking about next year. I'm going to say, okay, let's see what we can do here. And O'Connell exudes that. And that's going to be something, and this is part of leadership. That's something that's going to infect the locker room. Everybody's got to work a little bit harder. Everybody's got to dig a little bit deeper. Everybody's got to carry something a little bit heavier without Kirk Cousins, and let's just go see what we can do. People are already writing him off. Sims, it's over. Devin McCourty, it's over. Fine, it's over. Well, maybe it's not over. And we're going to go out and we're going to try to prove to you that maybe it isn't. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.